We got ourselves Kevin going to be first up versus the Bubble. Oh, versus Daya. Daya having to go for a board immediately, just trying to see if he can outrun the Paladin. Kevin isn't playing games. He's got himself Crusade, immediate bubble. He doesn't want to give Daya an opportunity whatsoever, but now that the bubble is gone, is he running Blessing of Protection or is he running Spell Warden? Soulfire almost connects, but not quite. Kevin able to shuffle his way behind the pillar. Still got big Crusade wings available and wants to maximize the damage. Those things are going to be able to crack through his defenses pretty easily as he got himself Shield of Vengeance, not really fearing the Bonds of Fel at all, and Kevin looking very, very healthy. But so is Diabolicus, has been able to avoid Kevin for the most part. Succubus, you see, even though that man is surrounded by an Infernal Stun to follow right after into Chaos Bolt 1, Spell Warden is active, so Kevin is changing up the strategy a little bit. Not going to be able to have a Blessing of Protection against the Rogues or the Warrior, but as long as he can fight through Diabolicus, he will at least be able to tell his tale another day. Going to be a stun, but it's going to be a trinket out of the Warlock. Mortal Succubus, you see, the Mortal Succubus combo, by the way, is actually kind of nasty, because if you Succubus, you see, while they're Mortal, whatever direction they're Mortal into, the Succubus just keeps them going in that direction, so it almost serves like a fear, and it's also as durable like a fear, so it doesn't immediately break to damage. Reflector for Daya, as long as you don't stun yourself, you'll be a-okay, and Kevin just better be careful with it. Succubus, you see that early on into yet another Soulfire Incinerate to follow mad damage. Kevin is not in a good spot. He needs survivability right now. Shield of Vengeance looks like it could be activated, unless this my UI is bugged out. But if he has Shield of Vengeance, definitely should use it. Has it for the Bonds of Fel, trying to see if he can walk towards Daya. Is that going to be Succubus? This is a wall as well as a Dark Pack for Diabolicus. Full defense, ready to go. Mortal Chaos Bolt 1. Does Daya have enough damage? Kevin looking to recover. Yet another bolt right after into Incinerate, and it's just done. My goodness, that is so much raw damage out of this Warlock. Just got himself short CC back to back from a bolt into Incinerate into everything. With Valeera, the Outlaw are going to be up next. A little bit of a rematch against a different Warlock this time, but it's still the same spec as a Destruction Warlock. Trying to see if he can find the rogue. Going to be Bonds of Fel, wants to break it as he tried to see if he can make his way over to Daya. Daya making sure to get far away from the portal just so they can have a place to retreat to. As the Succubus catches the rogue, could be a potential trinket here. Does get hit with a Shadow Fury, Cloak of Shadows. Valeera got himself a decent setup. Maybe could make someone work off this cloak, but it's going to be as soon as the cloak is up, Daya backing up out of there. But not really looking all that good behind the pillar. How much to go for killing spree onto the Succubus? Looks like they are going to focus a lot of the attention on the Succubus. Maybe that's the plan still. Last duel, it was the plan to kill the Succubus, separate it from the Warlock, and then slay the second Succubus, and then kill the Warlock. I don't know if they'll be able to do it here. That's going to be massive Incinerate, instant cast, get a shot onto Daya, and vanish for the rogue before he gets hit by that Succubus. Seduction is able to dive into stealth away from any kind of dots, and is able to avoid detection by Daya, but they're looking to pick up eyes, keeping the Succubus kind of next to them, sort of, sending the Succubus over to the rogue. If Diabolicus is watching where the Succubus is at, should be able to find the rogue, keeping him out of stealth, keeping him in combat, but actually kind of away from Diabolicus. Valeera, it's a perfect opportunity to actually take down Succubus very, very quickly. I don't know if Diabolicus will be able to summon a new one. He's trying to. Is the rogue paying attention? That's going to be a freshly Succubus, and that's a fresh new one. For Valeera, I think he's just mostly trying to buy himself time to catch himself another reset, if at all possible. Cheap shot on the Daya, as it's going to be Dark Pack, Cloak of Shadows, almost back up Trinket in order to break out of the Succubus. You see Mortal setting the rogue out into the Soulfire off of that Shadow Fury. Gonna take a bit of hits, unless it can, does get himself out of the portal, trying to see if they can control where they're standing. Diabolicus trying to see if he can drop down a bunch of portals. Actually, Smoke Bomb keeping the rogue away from this portal damage. If he can just land aside those, that's actually kind of useful. Stun onto Daya, the Succubus trying to go for damage. Cloak of Shadows for the rogue, not a lot of health available. Kills to follow onto Diabolicus, but they just keep blasting him through and through. Doesn't even matter. Spore Cloak does give him a little bit of survivability. With SC gonna be up next. I gotta give you a better name, but I think we'll go with SC for now. Stun on the Daya. Big burst out of left field. Leaping right on top of the Warlock. Big bleed to follow and just slams him out of the way so you can go to the next competitor. It's gonna be Coded. Not even gonna give him an opportunity. It's gonna be SC get hit with a disarm immediately. But perfect opportunity for SC just to take that momentum and keep it going versus the versus Conan. As Conan walking into some full cooldowns available, SC is actually popping offensives and defensives. He's rotating everything really early on. Bleeds out by Conan. SC trying to keep himself stabilized. Big defensives and damage by Conan. This is where SC is actually going to back up out of the Conan has himself a leap to reconnect. If SC could maybe get away from him, he'll be fine. Trinket leaps away as well, trying to keep his distance while Conan is at his apex. Powerful. Gonna wait it out and maybe even get him some second win. Perfect opportunity for the Warrior to catch up, trying to avoid Conan. Fear to follow out of Conan, as it looks like SC is playing the Onslaught build by the looks of it. That does quite a bit of damage too. Conan, I wonder if he's also playing Onslaught. Is that just like a common Fury thing or not? Because there are some builds on PvE at the very least. They do play Onslaught, others don't. And I just haven't referenced the Fury in a while. Stun onto Conan. It looks like SC's actually ramping up quite a bit of damage. Conan, unless he finds some defensives, unless he finds some ability, he could fall behind here. Trying to play it super slow instead of reflect up in case there's going to be any Shadow Flame stuff. But it looks like he's in execute range. I think SC might have just been able to overpower him. He just tried to finish him. One more global rage blow does do it. With Reverence charging out next. SC needs that recovery. He needs a second win. He needs to stay away from Reverence as the man is sending a succubus, but looks like pulled one back, giving the man as much of an honored duel as humanly possible. This is the best you can do for the competitor, is just to offer an opportunity to at least let him heal up, and now they're ready to go. Whatever cooldowns he got is all up to you at this point. This is everything you can do right here. This is your chance, your opportunity. Try to see if you can wait in order to maybe get himself that enrage regen. You may want it against the Destruction Warlock. If you can do enrage regen at a right time, especially while dampening isn't the highest yet, you might be in a good spot. Reflect up immediately. Reverend trying to go for a bit of a slow. Succubus as well as the Warlock both getting stunned up. And there goes the port immediately. SC has a choice. Leap in after the Warlock or maybe back away with a Succubus. Does not have a way to break the Succubus CC. Mortal Call to follow. Kesbot after does not have a reflect. Might just have to use it as soon as possible. Defensive stance and having to go full defensive. That's a lot of damage. Having to pop a big and rage regen, but doesn't have anything to heal off of. Maybe was hoping that the Succubus would swing over to his side and he can go for a couple of bloodthirsts in there. But actually just trying to see if he could maybe wait it out. Maybe he could wait out the dots in general. Fear onto the Succubus as an Inferno comes crashing down. SC is not in a good spot. Have himself a little bit of health catch up. Doing quite a bit of damage to Reverence actually. As long as the Warlock isn't using big defenses, SC actually does quite a lot of damage. Maybe a wall situation. Reverence does it, floating out of there. And SC looking to back the hell up as soon as possible. The Inferno is far away. It actually is running for a good bit. Maybe he could stun it around the corner. Got him some second win, catching back up little by little. Maybe he could use a little bit of healing off of the Infernal and at least build up a little bit of resources. Infernal does not feel great, and it's also giving Reverence resources that he needs every time that it pulses with that immolation aura. But it still could be an opportunity for SC to maybe do a bit of recovery. Succubus rushing at you, not catching a re-stealth. You see where the Succubus is at, you can stun it, and now Reverence is kind of out in the open. Reflect Mortal Call, perfect. Succubus needs to do something right now. SC does get caught out, it's going to be Soulfire, but the Warlock is feeling the pain right now. Stun short for SC, maybe could go for, I don't think he got Reflect. Nope, defensive stance, that's about all he can do. Chicago charging out, immediately zapping out Reverence into a fear Kesbot right after, but I don't think he's going to let this Warlock live much longer unless Reverence got some kind of a trick up his sleeve. This man is kind of out in the open naked, only got a wall ready for him, but that's really about all he's got, unless maybe Succubus, you see, last second, oh, just elemental blasted him and he hit him with a flag. Okay. Chicago, you probably shouldn't also be flagging anybody either. But Reverence did flag you last time. It doesn't mean that what you did is right. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. But at least there's some explanation for the chat. Reverence did that earlier to Chicago. Chicago just returning the flag back. They just passed it. Big damage onto Chicago as Tyr unleashing everything. But having to rotate every single defensive as well. Cloak, evasion, all have been used. Only has a vanish. And Chicago is actually just completing the drain of cooldowns. If this is going to be a clean go by Tyr, it's just over. The game is done unless Chicago does get to root Tyr out in the open. Last to follow has a trinket in case he wants to use it. But he's going to be able to catch himself a re-stealth either way off of that stun. I'm surprised he caught a re-stealth. Was that a shadow meld? That was a shadow meld. Stun on Chicago. Unless you kill him right here. Oh, cold blood and everything. It's over, man. The game was over from the get-go. Let's get us another going here, yeah? Uno más, dude. These Warlocks, man. But the Warrior clawing back to that victory. Trying to do the very, very best that he could. Almost got Reverence down into maybe an unsafe position.